state of Rajasthan. Well, it has defeated the Congress party. It has bought in the BJP. But who is the BJP's chief ministerial candidate? That is a question that is still open. The one name that is, of course, doing the rounds is of Vasundhara Raje Scindia. She's been the chief minister of Rajasthan many times over. You know the Rewaz in Rajasthan. One time it was Mr. Gehlot, the other time it was Vasundhara Raje Scindia, and so on. So they alternated. We do not know. The name has still not been decided or formed. We know that the Prime Minister is not very fond of Vasundhara Raje Scindia. But will that decide the choice of the CM? There are other people in the running as well. For example, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. He is the Jal Minister of the country, someone who has the Ashirwad, as it were, of the Prime Minister. Again, Arjun Ram Meghwal, he's a key Dalit face, currently the Law Minister of the country. Could he be the next Chief Minister? And there is Balaknath, the MP. His name is doing the rounds as well. He comes from the Nath Sampradaya, the same Sampradaya to which Yogi Adityanath believes. So there is a long list. There is a long list. If there's a long list of CM hopefuls in Madhya Pradesh, there is a long list in Rajasthan as well. Let's quickly listen in to Kirori Lal Meena.
किरोड़ी लाल मीना जी हमारे साथ हैं। सर, राजस्थान में जिस तरीके से जीत हासिल हुई है, आप एक तरीके से हिंट दे रहे हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी हमेशा चौंकाने वाले फैसले जरूर लेते हैं। क्या राजस्थान में भी ये देखने को मिल सकता है?
बिल्कुल यही मिलेगा। कोई नाम कयास कहीं काम नहीं करेगा। वो तो जो उनके दृष्टि में परिश्रमी, मेहनती, ईमानदार और 2024 के चुनाव में कामयाबी दिलाए, 25 की 25 सीट लाए, ऐसा कैंडिडेट ढूंढ कर लाएंगे।
वसुंधरा राजे सिंधिया दूसरी तरफ डिनर होस्ट कर रही हैं, तमाम एमएलए को बुलाया गया है।
डिनर तो कोई करा सकता है, ये तो उन्होंने बुलाया होगा जो कार्यकर्ता है, जो एमएलए है, उनको खाना खिलाया। तो वही जाने, वही जवाब दे सकते हैं। मैंने तो खाना नहीं खिलाया।
Okay, let's shift our focus from Rajasthan to Chhattisgarh now. The BJP's win in the state has come as a surprise to many, many people, including the Congress party. They were absolutely certain they are winning the state. Any case, they haven't. Now, the BJP faces the challenge of appointing a chief minister. The question is, who will it be? Raman Singh has been the chief minister of Chhattisgarh for a while. Will he get picked because of his experience? We don't know. There is OBC leader Arun Sao. He's in the running as well. And there is a woman in the running as well, a tribal woman leader. Her name is Renuka Singh, ladies and gentlemen. So just imagine, if it happens, if Chhattisgarh, Renuka Singh is picked, she's currently a union minister. If Renuka Singh is picked in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan picks Vasundhara Raje Scindia, that'll mean that you have two chief ministers, women chief ministers in BJP ruled states, and we of course have Mamta Banerjee as well. Am I missing out anyone? I don't think so. There'll be, if it happens, there'll be three chief ministers in states across India. All right. So that is the list of hopefuls that we have put to you. Dharendra Tayal is BJP leader joining us on the broadcast. Mahima Singh, spokesperson of the Congress party. Sabha Naqvi is a senior journalist, and Tehseen Poonawalla is an analyst joining us. Tehseen had a question for Mr. Tayal, his best friend. Go ahead, Tehseen.
Mr. Tayal, very often the BJP spokespersons told the Congress that the leadership, the central leadership is not very decisive. We saw both in case of Karnataka and now in case of Telangana. Immediately, Mrs. Gandhi, Rahulji, Priyankaji and Khargeji took a decision. Now I'm asking you, you all deterred on the decision between Himanta Biswa Sharma and Sonowalji, despite Sonowalji being the sitting chief minister in Assam. You still cannot appoint chief ministers in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and in Chhattisgarh. Which is the weaker leadership? Today, the people of India have seen that the Congress is the stronger leadership. Sir, what is it? What masterstroke is it now that you will see?
Thank you, Tehseen. This is very interesting, and to hear decisive leadership coming from Congress. I wonder how many months it took you to appoint CWC. I mean, that was your own governance. It had nothing to do with the people. Nothing had to be done. You couldn't appoint your own CWC for donkeys, months, I don't know how long. So let us not talk about that. The second part being, why is BJP not being able to do it? I mean, it is rather simple at the Congress level. I mean, what has to happen? Okay, you go to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, say, aapko kaun acha lagta hai? Mr. Rahul Gandhi says so and so, and he becomes the CM. So unfortunately, BJP being a truly, let me put it that way, truly democratic party, that is not the way it functions. It has to go through a whole lot of process. And then there's a lot more that goes behind it. It will be the MLAs who will choose, it will go to the parliamentary board, so on and so forth. So let it take its own time. I mean, we are in no rush, and certainly we are not a one-person party.
No, no.
And the process has to be followed.
Acha, nahi, Mr. Tayal, but the process has been followed by the Congress in Telangana. Their MLAs have chosen. 64 MLAs picked Revanth Reddy. The leadership at DK Shivakumar etc. came to Delhi. Decision was taken. हो गया announced 7 December को swearing in भी है. लेकिन आप लोगों का तो अता पता ही नहीं है. You are telling us in the Congress party it all depends on the whims and fancies of one family and one man. But आप मुझे बताइए, in the BJP do chief ministers who are not liked by the prime minister picked? ऐसा तो कहीं नहीं हो सकता ना. ये तो मतलब this defies logic. Anyhow, Mahima Singh wanted to respond to you. Go ahead, Mahima. Hi, good evening.
Jai Hind, I was hearing into the BJP spokesperson, and when he talks about the CWC and how long it took to appoint the CWC, I want to question how long did it take the BJP to appoint a party president in Karnataka, let alone a LOP, an opposition leader of opposition in the assembly. So I don't know with what face, with what courage they talk of, the processes. We have, as you rightly said, we have followed in the democratic process. And we're also awaiting to see how many women chief ministers, because the Prime Minister has attributed the victory to the women. You're saying that, Nari Shakti has given us this mandate. So we're also waiting to see how many women chief ministers are in line to be announced. So I think, it's very curious how the BJP alleges the Congress of everything when it actually portrays all those, it's the culprit, it's the real culprit of all those allegations when it comes to it.
Mr. Tayal, is the problem that there are too many hopefuls in the BJP when it comes to the 3 states, which is why the party is not being able to make up its mind?
Sorry?
I'm saying, are there too many claimants to the throne, which is why the BJP is not being able to make up its mind? Because there are aspirations that need to be met, and there are hopes that need to be accommodated.
No, absolutely. So there is no two ways about it. I mean, what is wrong with that? We've got extremely strong leadership till the grassroots level. So, I mean, people are in politics, and to aspire for a higher position, there is nothing wrong with that. People want to serve, but at the same time, I mean, you heard even a person like Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan saying that, I am a dedicated soldier of the party makes me one, I will be. So that does not mean he does not want to be, but that doesn't matter at all. So, I mean, because we've got the leadership, you were right. Look what you said.
You are telling me it doesn't matter, Mr. Tayal. Kaisi baat kar rahe hain?
Let me.
Kaisi baat kar rahe hain? Are you telling me it doesn't matter to Shivraj Singh Chouhan whether he becomes the next chief minister or not? Look at what he has said. कि बाकी सब दिल्ली में बैठे हुए हैं, मैं यहीं पे हूँ.
As a soldier of the party, he will accept whatever the party decides is good for the party and the country. Now, what was it that you said right at the beginning? In Telangana, it has come as no surprise because there was nobody else. So that itself, I mean, you said it, there's a complete paucity, there really is nobody else. So we are happy that we've got so many, we've got such a strong base of leadership amongst us. And all of them dedicated cadre who will listen to whatever the party decides and what is good for the party and the country. So that is the kind of party you are talking about, and you just said that the process was gone through. There is a difference between a facade of a process and a process. So, I mean, let us not fool ourselves. We all know what is there. And going by what Mahima said, I mean, I can't fault her there as far as woman leadership is concerned. That the party is still ruled by a woman, maybe in absentia or behind the curtain. But it is. I mean, we have to give them that credit. Mr. Kharge is only the face.
But Dr. Tayal, just let me, Dr. Tayal, allow me to just sum this up for you. What's happening to the BJP in Rajasthan? There may be many hopefuls, but Vasundhara ji is forceful. While many may aspire, she is making your top leadership aspire. So please, we know Vasundhara ji yesterday had a meeting with what, 20 MLAs?
Today,
25
yeah,
MLAs?
and today there was some loyalty lunch or dinner.
Loyalty lunch. And you know that Vasundhara ji is on quick dial with lot of Congress leaders, and therefore the central leadership of the BJP cannot take a decision. दिल को खुश रखने के लिए तैयार जी, मेरा नाम पे आपके ख्याल अच्छे हैं, but we know जन्नत की हकीकत हम तो जानते हैं, लेकिन दिल को खुश रखने के लिए तैयार जी, ख्याल अच्छे हैं आपके.
Okay, let's quickly hear what Sabha's khayal is. Sabha, you know, the BJP can always argue, bhai, hum chief minister hai, we will decide when we want to. If we want to take a week, we'll talk. We'll take a week. 1 minute, Mr. Tayal. Where do you think is? Mr. Tayal, just a minute. Let Sabha speak. Is there a problem, or is the BJP just taking its time, saying we can absolutely do it?
No, of course they can do. But there has to be a time limit. No, I'll just explain to you what is the problem here. Is that the BJP, the Karyakarta, the Sangathan is formidable. They're all over the place. But a union minister tweets, "Ek akela sab pe bhari." The BJP makes everything about Narendra Modi, right? And that is how the party is structured now. You will have a Sangathan, you will declare it as the largest Sangathan in the world, but Narendra Modi. Now, so what is the history of the BJP? In Karnataka, they demoted Yedurappa, they made him leave the chief ministership and they put a non-entity there. Yedurappa is an old-style leader. He is also has a strong caste backing. Ultimately, now, all these chief ministers, their job is not just becoming chief minister, is to deliver the seats for the Lok Sabha. On November 10th, if you have not noted this, let me bring it to your attention. The son of Yedurappa, Mr. Vijendra, was made the state unit chief. During the election, he was not even sure whether he's going to get a ticket. They gave him a ticket. They made him the state unit chief because they're the most influential Lingayat leaders in Karnataka. Now, what is the issue here right now? During all of these chief ministers, they go back to the Vajpayee era. In the internal party meetings that used to take place, called national executives, Vasundhara Raje, being the queen, used to sometimes wonder why she's not being given as much time as the chief minister of Gujarat, who is now the prime minister of India, and who has a cult of personality, and who the BJP, the party seems to believe ki ek akela sab pe bhari. They say that. Even though everywhere I went, there were pracharak, there were panna pramukhs working so hard for the party. You have to give them, but they say. Shivraj Singh Chouhan is an OBC face. The catch is they didn't make him, they tarpowed him a little bit, then he was there, but he's always had a modest persona. So, but Madhya Pradesh is also the place with the strong Sangathan RSS thing. RSS tradition, actually, historically, older than what you have in Gujarat also, because you had people like Kushabha Thakre, Sundar Singh Bhandari, they built the RSS over there. Shivraj has taken a very brilliant position and said, "Jo mujhe bola jayega, main wo kaam karunga." There is a theory, BJP guys know it, that would the Prime Minister want someone to have a 25-year-old term in the history of the BJP, a chief minister, which is not him. Yet he would be weighing in the fact that can there be damage if you don't make this OBC figure. So this idea of, we all love the idea of Jyotiraditya Scindia, PM may like him also. You're going to replace a Maharaja who's not from the Sangh Parivar, who's a Maratha, whatever, the caste here is not important, Gwalior area, who is not from the Sangh Parivar. You're going to replace this loyal Sangh worker BJP Chief Minister Shivraj. Modest guy. You're going to replace him? Sure, they can risk it. The BJP is in a position to take risks. But the question right now is going to be, how many seats can you deliver? Do not forget, the BJP has won in the first past the post system, but the vote shares, take Rajasthan, there's a 2% vote share. If you look up all the votes combined, as is being pointed out, the Congress actually got more votes, if you add up Telangana. So nothing is done and dusted. It is the mastery of the first past the post system. In Chhattisgarh, it is even more. The Congress fundamentally ignored the tribal areas. They have been routed over there in the Adivasi areas. Pollsters could not reach them. They did not bother to reach them. I had done a piece saying underperformance in tribal areas. But pollsters, not so, everybody thought that it's a huge shock because nobody bothers to cover the Adivasis. Actually, that's the truth. So in Chhattisgarh also, there'll be many, many concerns. Will the Prime Minister like to say he's put a tribal chief minister? That would be very interesting because 32% of the population of Chhattisgarh is Adivasi. And neither BJP nor Congress has ever made an Adivasi a chief minister. in contrast, Jharkhand has a 26% tribal population, but they've had multiple tribal chief ministers, including from the BJP and including from the JMM. But Chhattisgarh, for some reason, it's not happened. So I don't know what the thing, they have made gains in Adivasi areas. So I suspect that the inclination in Chhattisgarh would be in the tribal area. But in Rajasthan, you have to make sure that the seats come your way in the Lok Sabha. So let's see whether Vasundhara can campaign, but the BJP can do
So you're
anything.
telling me...
And you have Arjun Meghwal, who's a Dalit.
So what you're telling me is...
No, Congress.
So what you're telling me is permutation combination lagana hoga, but when you're picking, when the BJP is picking a chief minister in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, they're not just picking a chief minister, they're also picking the man on the woman or the woman who can deliver them the seats in the 2024 elections.
Yes,
So yani, the decision is going to take time. It is not going to come in the next 24 or 48 hours.
No, but I'm also adding a caveat.
Time over. Mera time khatam.
PM would like Shivraj.
Acha, bolo.
But Vasundhara ji is hoping her time comes.
Has to be there, huh?
Yeah, that's general logic, right? The guy has delivered 4 terms. He's loyal. He's the face of the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. Who else but him? I do know, Mahima, you want to say something, but I'm out of time. My producer is not happy with me. I'm already 20.
I will only take
10 seconds.
Yeah, you see, in what the BJP believes to be too much democracy, they have done too much horse trading. So the Bua Bhai, the Bua Bhatija Wad in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan is going to be troublesome for the BJP. Our CM candidate is the people's rights, whereas the BJP has to pick up somebody who the PM will not be insecure of. Our highly insecure PM, by the way.
I was hoping...
Mr. Tayal, I'm done. Ho gaya time.
Just 1 second. I was hoping they would have learned by now than to try and protect BJP. They should have learned by now. And we'll meet again and we'll know what happened.
Our duties and rights very well. We won't learn it from an insecure PM. We know our duties and rights very well as an opposition.
Both of us are saying namaskar. Thank you. Mr. Dayal, before I get scolded by my producer. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Mr. Dayal, thank you very much. Mahima, thank you. Sabah, done. Thank you very much. Tehseen Poonawalla, thank you very much for joining us on the show. With that, I'm slipping.